Welcome back to Mediclass. Today we shall learn about the periodontal surgical instruments. The most common periodontal surgical procedures performed are gingivectomy, flap surgery, and osseous surgery. These procedures allow access to the roots of the teeth to remove bacteria from plaque and also the calculus. This allows for reduction of periodontal pockets and correction of the osseous defects. To perform proper periodontal surgeries, it is important to have a thorough knowledge of the surgical instruments. This will help in their effective usage. Surgical instruments can be divided into the following categories: excisional and incisional instruments, the surgical curettes and sickles, the periosteal elevators, surgical chisels, surgical files, scissors, and hemostats and tissue forceps. Under incisional and excisional instruments, we have the periodontal knives, the interdental knives, surgical blades, and the electrosurgery. Periodontal and interdental knives are mainly the Kirkland knives and the Auburn's interdental knife. The image A represents the Kirkland knife, whereas the image B represents the Auburn's knife. Kirkland knife is typically used for gingivectomy procedures. In this image, you can see that the Kirkland knife is used to excise the gingival overgrowth. It can be a double-ended or single-ended instrument. It is kidney-shaped and has an entire periphery as its cutting edge. Auburn's knife, as the name suggests, is used in the interdental areas. It is also available as a double-ended or single-ended instrument. It is spear-shaped and has cutting edge on both sides of the blade. The Auburn's interdental knife is available as number 1 and number 2. At one end, it has 2 angulations, and at the other end, it has 3 angulation. It has an angled blade and a contra-angle shank, which allows to work in the posterior areas and also helps in removal of the interdental tissue. Merrifield knife is similar to the Auburn's knife. Goldman Fox knife, it is used to remove tissue in the interdental areas. It is also similar to the Auburn's knife and has a spear-shaped end. It has an offset blade which is useful in working in the posterior areas. Coming to the surgical blades, these are available as number 11, number 12, number 12D, 15, and 15C. The number 11 blade is used for stab incisions when lancing an abscess is required. The number 12 blade is a pointed crescent-shaped blade which has a sharpened edge along the inside of the curve. It is used to perform circular incisions. The number 12D is a modification of the number 12 blade. It is also a beak-shaped blade. However, it has cutting edges on both the sides, the internal as well as the external side. It allows the operator to engage narrow restricted areas with both pushing and pulling cutting motions. The number 15 blade is most commonly used in periodontal surgery. It is used for thinning the flaps and also to give the internal bevel incision. It can also be used to give vertical incisions. The number 15C blade is the modification of the number 15 blade. It is a narrower version of 15 number blade and it is used to make initial scalloping type incision. It is short and gives precise incisions. These blades are attached to a handle called BP handle or Bart Parker handle. It is available as a graduated handle number 3. Longer handles with number 5, 7 and 9 are also available. Coming to electrosurgery, it uses controlled high frequency electrical currents which range from 1.5 to 7.5 million cycles per second. These are available as active electrodes. They can be a single wire electrode, which are these middle ones, used for incising or excising the tissue, the loop electrodes which are used for planing the soft tissue, and the heavier bulkier electrodes which are used for coagulation procedures. These are the clinical images of how electrosurgery cuts the tissue. The remaining portion of the tissue is removed using a curette. Surgical curette and sickles. These are useful for removal of granulation tissue, fibrous interdental tissue, and tenacious subgingival deposits like the subgingival calculus. In this image, you can see the curette is used to scrape out the granulation tissue and the ulcerated epithelium. These curettes are also called as heavy curettes and they are available as Pritchard curette or Kirkland surgical curette. These have wider blades than those that are used for conventional scaling and root planing. The sickles are called as heavy sickles, and it is available as ball scaler B2 and B3. These have a beak-shaped end which is used to remove tenacious subgingival deposits. The periosteal elevator is another important instrument used in periodontal surgery. It is used to reflect and move the flap after the incision has been made for flap surgery. This is an example of Woodson periosteal elevator, which has a round end used to reflect the mucoperiosteum and a sharp end to cause subperiosteal dissections. Another example of periosteal elevators are the Bucer periosteal elevator, the Pritchard periosteal elevator, and the Goldman-Fox periosteal elevator. The Pritchard periosteal elevator has a broad flat end which can be used for retraction of the tissue as well as tongue. The other rounded end is used to reflect the mucoperiosteum. Surgical chisels. These are used for cutting or removing bone, to recontour the alveolar bone crest, and to harvest autogenous bone graft. The surgical chisels are available as straight chisels or back action chisels. The straight chisels are used in push motion. The example is Ocean Bend chisel. The back action chisel are used in a pull motion. Example is the Rhodes chisel. In this image you can see that the Ocean Bend chisel is adapted over the marginal bone to recontour it. In this image you can see the Rhodes chisel is adapted over the marginal bone to recontour it. This helps in proper blending of the marginal bone and flap adaptation. This is how an Ocean Bend chisel and back action chisel appear. The Ocean Bend chisels are paired instrument with cutting edges in opposite directions. The back action chisel has a sharp blade which helps to harvest and remove bone. Along with the straight chisels, a mallet is always used. The mallet is also used along with osteotomes in implant surgery. Surgical files. These are available as curved or straight. The curved one is called as a Schluger file and the straight one is the Sugarman file. These are used mainly in the interproximal areas and they are used in push and pull motion. In this image you can see that a Schluger file is used in the interproximal area to treat a crater. It helps in recontouring the buccal and the lingual edges of the bone and helps in recontouring the alveolar bone. Tissue forceps. DeBakey tissue forceps are most commonly used in periodontal surgery. These are used to hold the flap during suturing. They help in repositioning and displacing the flap after the flap has been reflected. They are available as Addison's tissue forceps, which is plain, or it can also have a tooth end. Another example of tissue forceps is the Kohn suture plier. It helps in holding the graft membrane as well as the connective tissue or the free gingival graft. It helps in easy suturing of the grafting materials. Kohn suture pliers are ideal for use with guided tissue regeneration procedures. Hemostat. This is a multi-purpose instrument. It is used for clamping of blood vessels, removing small root tips, and also grasping loose objects. In this image you can see that a hemostat is used to remove a periodontal pack that was given after periodontal surgery. The hemostats can be available as straight ones or curved ones. They can be used depending on the location of the surgery. Scissors. The Goldman-Fox scissor is the most commonly used scissor in the periodontal surgery. It is used to remove tags of tissue during gingivectomy, to trim the margins of the flap, to enlarge incisions in periodontal abscesses, and to remove muscle attachments in mucogingival surgery. Suture cutting scissors can be available as curved or straight. These are used to cut the suture ends. Tissue nippers. These are used for accentuating the gingival contour during soft tissue surgery. This image represents the use of Goldman-Fox tissue nipper to recontour the soft tissue. It can be used for blending two or more surgical procedures within a surgical site. Pocket marker. The most commonly used pocket marker is a Crane-Kaplan pocket marker. In this image you can see the use of a pocket marker which is started distally and proceeded anteriorly towards the midline. These images represent how a pocket marker measures the depth of the pocket as well as the outer end creates a punch onto the labial surface of the gingiva. This provides a guide for the incision in gingivectomy procedure. Needle holder. It is used to suture the flap at the desired position after surgical procedure has been complete. Needle holder can be available as conventional or Castroviejo microsurgical instruments. These are the conventional and Castroviejo needle holders. The conventional needle holders are available in different sizes. The tip of the needle holders are serrated, which ensures firm and proper grip of the needle. The Castroviejo needle holder is used for delicate, precise techniques that require quick and easy release and grasp of the suture. The microsurgical needle holders have a lock to ensure that the needle is firmly secured. This allows the needle to be guided through a coarse gingival tissue with controlled grip pressure. These are the images of Castroviejo needle holders, and they are also available in different sizes. The speciality of these needle holders is their locking mechanism. So to summarize, excisional and incisional instruments are used to remove or cut soft tissues. Surgical curette and sickles are used to remove tenacious calculus and granulation tissue. Periosteal elevator is used to reflect a mucoperiosteal flap. Surgical chisels and files are used to recontour the alveolar bone. Scissors can be used to remove the tags of tissues or cut the suture ends. A tissue forceps and tissue nippers are used to recontour the soft tissues. Hemostat is a multi-purpose instrument. Needle holders are used in suturing. You can find the link to MCQs for this topic in the description of the video. Thank you for watching the video. We hope you liked it, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel for more videos, and also hit the notification bell for update on new videos. So see you in the next video. Till then, stay healthy and have an amazing week.